ceremony
opening
at Stonehenge should be
ceremony
super fun, and yeah, we invite anybody who wants to join us.
Incredible. That sounds super exciting. So you're going to fundraise 150K, put that into a Gitcoin round specifically for event organizers across this path, right? Wow.
Yeah, camp organizers. We want it to just be an event. We also want these to be communities that continue to do this work of radical peace reconciliation, ecological regeneration,
So
spiritual healing. So we want to support communities that are doing this work to keep doing it.
The trifecta. I love that. That's so good that you're encompassing those different things. And okay, so you're planning to fundraise for that. You've previously fundraised for all of these Gitcoin rounds that you've run from, and of course, with an amazing team. But I believe you instigated, with all the regional nodes. You've run a lot of rounds there. I know I'm repping Cello today. My shirt, Cello, I think was one of the sponsors. But I love to learn about, how you've gone about, fundraising for these rounds and how you're planning to do that in the future. Any tips for people who might want to organize their own round?
Rounds.
Yeah.
To run rounds.
For sure.
For sure. So
Cello Public Goods.
Cello Public Goods now is an amazing resource for this kind of stuff. Big shout out to Monty and Luke.
I'm gonna go probably a different route this time. I spent a few months building relationships with family offices who have made significant investments in land-based regeneration. There's about 4 families who have invested anywhere between 10 and 50 million into turning parts of their estates into regenerative farms, regenerative villages, regenerative communities. And people like Matthew Monahan from Mars actually are a shining example of this. If anyone doesn't know Matthew, Mars is great, but Matthew is a legend. Legend of legends. He embodies what I think every human on the planet needs to do in every way. It's incredible. And he runs this massive 1,000-acre site in New Zealand. It's a huge, commercially viable organic farm. They're doing widespread reforestation, regeneration, and he's running Gitcoin rounds with significant capital, and he's making amazing content. And the brother is deeply aligned with Source. So we want to raise from people like Matthew and their families. But specifically, we want to raise from families in Europe who will also hopefully host us. And we can show up as pilgrims to help activate their land with shared dreams. And so we're going to do a big call out to all of the land owning families along the route who want to donate.
Hopefully these family offices then have a vested interest in seeing the pilgrimage succeed. And 150K is the base. It'd be dope if we had 1 million. That'd be super dope. And then we can just run this every 6 months. And it doesn't have to just be Europe. We can do pilgrimages everywhere and use this architecture to just scale planetary regeneration and spiritual awakening. My initial thought. In terms of people raising capital for their own rounds, I would say relationships are the thing. I was very blessed in that I joined Toucan Protocol as effectively the first hire after launch. It was 2 weeks after launch. And through that, I got to meet Sepp Kamvar, one of the founders of Cello. I got to meet, a bunch of amazing Ed Walters. I got to meet Craig Wilson, who was then head of Climate Collective. And when people know you as people and they feel friends and they trust you, money flows. And so if you are thinking of raising capital, don't think of raising capital. Think of creating deep, heart-centered relationships with everyone around you, and be open to people who have been blessed with financial abundance, just as you're open to the homeless person on the street. And for me, if I am able to listen to the cry of a homeless person saying, hey, can you give me some food, and sit down and eat some food with them, also be able to listen to the person who's very financially healthy and find the right purpose to offer that money as a gift. And so for me, it's all the same thing. And I think where a lot of people get twisted is they miss both sides of that spectrum. They won't sit with the homeless person who has nothing and give them their time and attention and food. They often sit with the person who's really wealthy because maybe they have discomfort around capital and they don't like sitting in a $50 million mansion, or being with someone who sold their last company for 900 million to Google, or whatever. And so I think like that's my invitation, and yeah, just a thought. LFGrow. Whoop whoop. Thanks, man. Thanks, brother.
One of these intense experiences and like just get there, like bit of it. And yeah, this was pretty similar. It felt like you were sitting next to me and you were sharing. So
Nice,
yeah,
bro.
wow. It's and
Thanks.
I can imagine that like you've been definitely through a lot. I mean, there are ups and there are downs, and it's not all in all a la la land journey. Like when you're venturing deep into such spaces,
Dear
you
God.
meet your demons. You meet your
Yes,
demons, and you
bro.
have to face
Yes.
your demons. I mean, it's no hiding over there. So
So true.
yeah. I can see you come out of it alive, metaphorically and actually in this scenario. So,
Yeah, yeah,
congrats
bro.
on that. It's yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough one. Maybe
Thank you, brother.
I wanted to like maybe see if you could share a bit more on how you were consciously integrating all of this, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot
Mm-hmm.
is given to you on these journeys. And
Yeah.
often we see people that like they're left with the vision but like nothing to do after it in terms of the
Oh,
mission.
yeah,
And
brother.
that kind of
Yeah, man.
acts as being like a bit of a problem. So yeah, maybe like take us through how it was, like how did you navigate all of that, and how did the visions lead? I think you described it a bit, but like
Mm-hmm.
internally,
Mm-hmm.
how did the visions lead to like what you're deciding to do now?
Amazing. Yeah, for sure. And just quickly, Jimmy, it says I've been muted on the video stream. I assume that's
Yep,
how
that's
you want it.
intentional because
Okay,
I'm bringing
cool.
in Space's audio. No
All right,
worries.
cool. So yeah, dude, like this is a great question, and it's something I definitely am learning and growing in, and by no means have all the answers. And this was one of the things that actually, dear brother Luca, this Brazilian guy who, yeah, bore a bit of the brunt of the darkest part of the initiation, really invited me to slow down and do more integration. And so, I work with a specialist psychedelic integration therapist who exclusively does this work. Um, I also have a somatic therapist that is trained in internal family systems and somatic experiencing that I work with. And I also work with a psychiatrist, like a board certified psychiatrist. Um, I also do a lot of meditation, and I need to spend more time in nature by myself. Tomorrow, I've blocked everything out and I'm just barefoot fasting in nature in a forest. And that will be a core part of the integration. But yeah, man, surfing is actually surprisingly one of my greatest integration practices. I know it sounds bizarre, but for whatever reason, when I'm in the water and I'm moving through the waves and the like ocean is crushing me and I'm coming through, like a lot comes through my unconscious and integrates in that way. Um, and like I'm singing a lot and I'm writing music about this. And like I called circle meetings with a bunch of different groups of people whom I trust and respect and knew they would challenge me on this. And so like I called my friends in Norwich, some of my co-founders and previous friends who were like hardcore Christians, like right wing, all psychedelics are bad kind of people. And I sat in circle and shared with them everything. I called together a circle with my friend from Israel, who's an Arab Druze. He's not Muslim, he's not Christian, he's not Jewish. He's a like ancient, almost indigenous people group, and asked for discernment from him and his elders. I'm doing a similar thing with some of my friends and family in Colorado, and then also with the Kogis and with Jotima. And so, like, it's not just for me about integration, it's also about discernment, because integration is like bringing the visions into the identity and moving it through the body and becoming an integrated whole person again after the deep, like, filling and also the charge and the emotion and the pain and everything. And the discernment is like, okay, what do I do with it now? And I'm really fortunate right now to be traveling and working with like a little tribe. There's 4 of us. There's going to be 5 from tomorrow, and we're all like, yeah, very committed to each other's growth. We talk a lot. We sing a lot. We meditate together. We go in nature together. I have like a daily morning and evening cleansing ritual with morning prayers, and like I'm doing everything I can basically. And this brother Luke, who was on this journey with me, has been a key ally in helping me like practice what he calls Kriya meditation and Vipassana, which are disciplines that I didn't have much exposure to. Vipassana a little bit, to move away from like the stories of the mind and the ego and the identity, and to really like access that place of stillness and pure consciousness that has no words and no attachment and no illusion. And so like we spend every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, disconnected from technology, in nature, practicing these methods, going into saunas, cold water, breathing, just being. So this is our current path, but like it's a super good call, man. And yeah, if anyone has any thoughts or tips, like I'm very much open to receive.
Love it. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah.
Go
Thank you
ahead.
for sharing. So, I mean, it's yeah. This is interesting because it seems like you've created slash found like multiple avenues to be able to channel this, be able to like share it in the right spaces and
Mm,
have the
mm,
right kind of people around you, because again it's
mm.
set and setting, and then after that like who you hang with makes a major difference. It's important to be able to like figure all of the comment that I would want to make is that I always really love when people enter this space and take on this journey. And I think the way I see it, like this is the starting point
Mhm,
in terms of, let's say transforming oneself and setting out on this path, and then like, taking up on whatever this path shows.
mm,
And at
mm.
times it's easy, at times it's really difficult, and yeah, it's just the path that is flowing through you that you're able to channel. So yeah, I would just say
Thank you,
you
brother.
have, yeah, best of luck, I feel,
Mm,
and
mm,
continue sharing, because that
mm, mm.
makes a world of a difference for people around you. People get inspired, people get motivated, like whatever that is. And yeah, I'm eager and excited to see more on where this journey takes you.
Thanks, Utkar. So much love, Brian.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Beautiful.
It's yeah.
Big
So,
hug and hard hands. Go for it, Jimmy. I know we're at time.
all the hearts, all the hearts. Yeah, I know we're top of hour, but do we have time to go a little over? Is it a hard stop, or we can go?
For me,
Yes.
I'm okay.
Okay, amazing, amazing.
I
I
can
feel like
do
we're
I
just
can do
scratching the surface here.
15.
Okay, 15. All right.
I need to check in because my dad is arriving to the airport. So
Oh,
just give me
amazing.
2 seconds.
That's nice. Okay, no worries. So I feel like wave one of refi was very much carbon focused, right? And carbon
Yeah.
markets are big markets. That was definitely the focus. And now I'm sensing this shift into bioregionalism,
Yeah.
biofi.
Mhm.
Shout out to the new biofi round that's launched
Whoop,
on
whoop.
Gitcoin. You.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to jam with you on, that transition in focus. Why do you think that bioregionalism is so important to focus on instead of a metric like maybe carbon or other things? And yeah, what's your vision for bioregional regeneration at planetary scale?
Yeah, man, great shout. So, I posted recently, I think bioregionalism is the next refi. And Iwaki retweeted it with the same words. And I messaged Samantha Power, who wrote the book Bioregional Financing Facilities, like, hey, we should do a round. She's like, oh, we were just talking with Monty about this. And I was like, let's go. And Monty brought in Benjamin Lai from Open Civics, and they just magically like got the money together and made it happen like in 2 weeks, and it was incredible. And huge kudos to all of them. So check out the round. And yeah, I think like money is a reflection of consciousness, and so are all the organizational forms that we understand. And I think the carbon credit game was a reflection of human consciousness about regeneration at that time in which it was relevant and hot. And I think those people who designed carbon credits had the best interest in mind, but it's really complex and super hard to deliver this stuff. And I think one of the key missing pieces is the connection to local communities who are doing the work on the ground, understand the land, and all of the nuanced methodologies and practices, which are really hard to measure and quantify, but are actually really important. And so for me, reading Samantha Power's book, I was already diving into bioregionalism. I was already speaking to family offices who wanted to set up bioregional funds. I was like in this space super deep already. And I saw her book and I was just like, wow, this is so legit. This is happening. Like, this is a consciousness movement that's emerging right now. And like, it's not any one person. It's it's these like mimetic, these memes that just take hold of consciousness, and then everything else emerges around that. And I think for me, like, there's two things that need to happen in order for us to realize what I call the symbioscene from like an organizational level. One, nation states need to divulge their power to smaller bioregional entities. And two, nation states need to divulge their power to planetary scale entities. And that direction of power distribution from nations to bioregionals, bioregions, and from nations to planetary institutions is like absolutely essential. And I think the bioregional movement will happen first. And basically it will look like, Barichara and Cascadia and Iberia and like all these different places basically saying, we have an identity of place. We belong here. We are more, Cascadian or more Iberian than we are American or Spanish. This is who we are. And we are willing to commit to a multi-generational plan of regenerating the earth and taking care of the people in it in order to protect and honor this who we are-ness, this identity, right? And I think like this is effectively the return of indigeneity to human consciousness. Indigenous people understand themselves as a part of nature, intimately connected to the land. The Shavans in Peru believe that their temple is the center of the universe. The Arhuacos, the Wiwas, the Kogis believe that the heart of the world is the center of the universe. They take care of it because it's sacred to them. They plan to the seventh generation or further because they believe that they are them. They are their descendants. And bioregionalism is like the resurgence of this idea into Western consciousness. And this has been spoken about. This time has been spoken about for hundreds and hundreds of years in the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. And the eagle like embodies this Western colonial mind that's obsessed with fire and tools and like rationalism and systems and unit economics and like scientific reduction and control, like all of this. And the prophecy goes that, there was once a time where Earth was one, and the eagle and the condor flew in the same skies. We were Pangea, we were one mass. But as soon as we began to separate, we began to have this illusion of separateness. And the condor flew in the sky and dominated and created this global capitalist society and pushed the planet on the brink of collapse. And at this time, the prophecy says that the condor will rise again in the same skies as the eagle. And the condor is the indigenous kinship worldview that understands ourselves as a part of nature. It is centered in loving awareness, and it understands life as ceremony, as sacred. And it is this resurgence that I believe the bioregional movement is a reflection of. And as bioregional financing facilities, bioregional trusts, bioregional investment banks begin to be capitalized, we will see the emergence of planetary scale institutions as a second order. And this second part of this is so, so key, because what we need is not only bioregionally funded institutions, bioregional regeneration, bioregional MRV schemes, bioregional methodologies. We need all of this, and that will happen. But what we also need is very well capitalized, incredibly highly enabled, almost sovereign institutions that are directed to address planetary problems like AI alignment, like an over increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, like biodiversity collapse, like all these different things. We need really, really well capitalized institutions that can then coordinate capital to the bioregions and build infrastructure through planetary sapience, which is this like form of data and intelligence that's coming from all the sensors, all the satellites, all the phones, all the data, all the AI models about what's happening on the earth, in our water, in our air, in our soils. This planetary sapience is an incredible resource that we haven't learned how to access. And bioregions will be one of the key sources of this intelligence, but planetary institutions will be the vehicles that capture this intelligence and funnel it through to ecological regeneration. And my hope would be spiritual awakening as the same path. So this is what I believe. This is my path. I'm writing about this in my book, Symbiocene Visions of a New Earth. Totally speculative. Take what you want. I may be totally wrong, but yeah, that's my take.
I think you're onto something, man. I really do think you're onto something. It makes sense to focus on bioregions, not random lines drawn in the sand, as nation states, and then also planetary levels. You mentioned in DM a peace token. I'm curious to know how the peace token ties into this. Can we announce this? What's happening? What's happening here? What's with the peace token?
We're gonna have to do a follow. We're gonna have to do a follow-up on that one.
Well, you know where to find us. We're literally here 24/7 all the time.
So here's my ask.
Just let me know.
Here's my ask.
Okay.
If you guys would, I would love to at some point host. I can't like be hosting, but I would love to live stream through LFGrow Live part of this event with Jyoti Ma from 4 to 9 p.m. Lisbon time on Saturday, November 2nd. There's going to be a prayer circle, a song circle, ecstatic dance, and then like a close and integration. I think specifically the opening circle with Jyoti Ma, her message of the mother, would be just like incredibly, incredibly powerful. And it's not like the typical Grow Nation, Shillathon, whatever you guys call it, dynamic, but it's like straight to the heart of Mother Earth. It is straight to the heart of Indigenous-led wisdom. And it is community on the ground gathering, doing ecological regeneration and spiritual awakening work. Like that is what is happening in Mojo. And for me, that'd be amazing. So just an offer. If not, if the schedule's full, all good. But just a thought.
Dude, of course. Okay, so I think I might be able to do one better. Because have you heard of Unify?
No.
The platform? Okay, so they all of Indigenous elder wisdom and regeneration. Actually, the founder of that organization wrote a book on regeneration, and they've also had like Tony Robbins and Oprah and all these crazy people on their channel, and they've got 2.4 million followers. And they're one of our they're not a 24/7 channel partner, but for special events they are channel partners. So all I have to do is if you get me some information on this event, I can CC you and intro you to Tammy, the founder, and we can present this as something, and hopefully we can broadcast this out everywhere.
Amazing. What an honor. What a gift. Thanks, Jimmy. Let's connect offline one-to-one. I'd love to collaborate on this. And yeah, thanks Utkarsh, thanks Ko, thanks James McGee. Oh, it looks like James got his hand up. Maybe that was
Yeah, I don't know if it's bugging. I don't see the hand on my screen, but I do on the computer.
Oh, okay.
Is your hand up,
that
Mr.
might be
McGee?
Well,
I
an
really
hour
appreciate this
has
time.
passed, so I
Okay.
just put it
I'm
on.
so sorry.
Every hour. No.
So
No.
sorry.
He hasn't been waiting an hour. He announces this every hour. It's his thing. Okay, go ahead, Mr. McGee.
Every hour, I just remind everybody to go push buttons, plant trees, pump bags, go like, comment, share, fund public goods on the
Hey,
blockchain.
yeah. So everyone who
Amazing.
donated during the climate round has been airdropped his buttons token, and he's monetized, and he takes those funds and funds liquidity, and also plants trees with tree gens. So just by engaging with his
Amazing.
posts, you're literally making a difference in those two ways. So happy
So
days.
fun. Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you. Check us out at I am John Das on everywhere, X,
Oh.
Instagram. Instagram's kind of my
Yes.
main space now because basically
Okay.
people on X don't really seem to care about spiritual anything. So it's just like, all right, I'll find my own place. And yeah, I'll share the
We
live
do,
stream
bro.
and we'll
Don't give up
collab.
on us. We care
Yeah, I
about
did
it.
not
It's
expect this
just
today or anything in this space, and so I'm very fortunate for you here and for everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
we love it.
Always,
We
always
love it,
something
brother.
special
You're
in the
welcome here
region space.
anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Ko.
Much love,
Thanks,
John. Thank
Ko.
you for all that you're
And
doing,
Protocol
all
is
that you've
dope.
done, and all that you continue to do. We
Awesome.
appreciate
Love you
you.
guys. Peace, please. Let's grow.
Much love,
Let's grow.
John.
Let's grow.
All the best. Let's grow. Give it up.
Let's
For
Let's
grow.
grow.
Grow Nate. Peace, guys.
You had to
Hell
get
yeah.
that in
that
at
was
the
incredible.
end.
Grow Nate.
We love it.
All right.
Yeah, we had to give the applause. Woo! Damn, we went deep on that one. I had no idea John almost died there. I'm so glad he didn't. Can you imagine? Oh, TDF, yo, you would have had to pull funding from TDF if they killed him, man. You would. No more funding TDF if they killed John. That's not allowed. I'm putting that proposal in
God.
as a
Yeah,
note.
I actually had a question about that, about the different chemicals, but I guess that wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, I think
you
maybe
don't provide
just a
something.
disclaimer after that session. Please do your research like 100 times more than what you do before buying a token. Like
Never ape
that's
into
kind.
drugs.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, and like, yeah, please. That's these things. It's literally playing with fire, and yeah, it's a fantastic journey, but not without the right set of guidance. Yeah, go on,
There's a
James.
lot of risk. Yeah.
Fun fact is the the mushroom, the red and white ones.
Hmm.
They're actually one of the older versions of Santa Claus. Was basically a guy
Yeah,
who would trade mushrooms to people, and he would
yeah.
hang them from trees to dry and stuff like that. I've always thought that it was an interesting version of Santa
I
Claus. Was
mean,
the guy
it's
who came down
Santa
your chimney
Claus
to
is red and
trade
white.
psychedelics for food.
Santa Claus is red and white for a reason, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I'm not following. So the mushroom is related to Santa Claus. How?
In the northern like Asia, Russia, like I don't know, Eurasia area, they're harsh winters where these mushrooms also grow in the pine forests. The shaman would collect these mushrooms and hang them from the trees to dry, and then they'd process them in various ways so you could eat them and go on spiritual journeys. Well, during the winters, they would come down through chimneys and exchange psychedelics for food and other goods. And like that's one of the oldest like tradition, like shaman, Santa Claus-esque legends that like things have come forth. Santa was also just a Turkish man who passed out gold coins at one point. Like there's a lot of different renditions of what Santa Claus was, but one of the fun ones is that he was a man who traded you drugs for food, basically.
Like you do memes for trees.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's what Santa was? Oh my god. And then now
Bow, bow, bow.
Poe's feeling his microdose already.
There's a reason he was popular, man.
It was the
Okay, so-
spearmint tea, my friend. It was the spearmint tea.
and then the current design of Santa is because of Schmoca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola. I think we got to redesign him. Let's make him green. Let's make him regenerative. And then let's only gift social enterprise products this Christmas. How about that?
I mean,
How
let
about
let
that?
let let
Sure.
Mr. Syntropic come back from the forest. I think this is perfect thing for him to get
Yeah.
growing on.
Let him take a debrief after
yeah.
GT22, and then let's redesign Santa and let's have a regenerative Christmas.
How about that become the mascot?
Episode.
How
I
about
think
like
the
a
current,
green Santa becoming the mascot?
I think the
Green
Green
current
mascot?
iteration of Santa was actually introduced by an English author in the 1800s. But Coca-Cola definitely grabbed a hold of that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm eating right now. Back to you.
What's the term for that? Appropriated, I think.
Yeah, they appropriated Santa.
I just took over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had him drinking that cheese. You know, apparently, although they took out like the cocaine that used to
From
be in
Coke?
Coca-Cola, they apparently the flavor still comes from the coca leaf. I don't know what that. Oh, I saw that on like Joe Rogan clip or something. Like the flavor is somehow. All right, let me fact check this. Okay, I want to go back. Let me not mess this up. All right, BRB. Let me research.
Yeah. Statutory warnings in our conversations also. So, Sandra, how's it growing? I hear you successfully taken over the LFGrow DAO account.
It's growing well. I've just been
growing
enjoying
well.
the conversation.
Mhm.
And yeah, I actually try to get some people to join from some of the region groups that I'm a part of. Yeah, I think that it's funny, actually, was just talking about bioregionalism this weekend in Bacalar with a good girlfriend of mine. I see her in the audience. I don't know if she's wanting to come up and speak right now, but yeah, she's been following the bioregional space and yeah, a very big part of it. And we were just talking about what is our bioregion, and I've had this conversation also with Syntropic. What is our bioregion here? Does it extend from the Caribbean Sea into the more inland and jungles to the other side of the sort of Horn of Mexico, or and then how far south does it go? And then what I learned was that really the bioregionalism, thank you, Francis, is really based on the waterways. So I thought that what we're doing in a more bioregional fashion.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like a combination, the way I see it, like different landscapes. So water is definitely like a limiting, like a delineating factor. You could have mountain ranges also. You could have like shifts into desert landscape also being like a different bioregion. The way at least I've been like processing, or at least the way the mental model that I have is like a region that's sharing similar vibes in terms of the landscape, the weather, climate conditions, the rainfall patterns, and so on and so forth. Like it's within that space, and once you maybe move on to another bioregion, like your soil would change and your rainfall patterns would change, and like the vibes shift. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a jury out there to put this down, but like yeah, that's kind of what my sense is.
And then who is the governing body on that determines that? Is it because we say so, or is there like more of a scientific method to it?
They're the governing body, so I feel like ideally you would have like bioregions falling under one nation state technically, but the problems do start arising, like when, let's say, a bioregion is broken down into 2 3 nation states, and then what one nation state does in its own territory starts affecting the others. So I think that is definitely a problem in the current scenario, where yeah, lines cut through bioregions, and if you want to extrapolate that, I feel like it results in the problems that we see in today's time, where if you look at like Earth as one giant bioregion, we have people doing shitty things in one part of the world and it having very direct impacts all across. So yeah, such is the nation state regime.
Yes. It's so true. Well, it's really hard to grow on the heels of such an amazing talk. I only caught the tail end of it, but it sounds like it was a really vibrant conversation and lots of learnings. I love this.
Yeah, I think John decided to like really share everything that has been up in the last year or so, and we kind of probably, I'm guessing, got the TLDR of everything that's been happening. So yeah, got deep and got intense. And CC, I have been trying to like add you as a speaker, but it keeps on throwing some problems. Maybe Sandra could try.
I've been trying as well. Let me give it another.
CC, you might have to leave the space fully and come back to share the stage. And Sandra, I'm going to also drop off as co-host. I don't know whose hour this is. Who's hosting this hour? Do you know?
I think you said the C word, not the G word.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm not I'm just. I just wanted to.
Hold.
Okay.
Are those a grow
Guilty.
vocabulary infraction?
Guilty as charged. Yes.
Earth.
Yes, sir.
Spread 'em.
Yes, sir. I
You have the right to remain regenerative. Anything you say or do can and will be gronated.
So I mean, given my liberty of using
Sir, as your
non-vocabulary
lawyer,
words,
I recommend you to listen to the rights first.
no, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I
till the hearing.
understand.
You don't want to.
I understand my infractions, and because of that, like last time around,
Confession?
I've given like a mighty advance. I've given like a
Is that
$69
right?
glow dollar advance, so
Oh,
that
wow.
I'm good for the next 6 GG rounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
Well-
would not find like a more proactive grow me than me, bro.
Wow.
Grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah.
then how many have you used
Well,
of the
step
69?
up.
Prosecution?
I
Order.
don't think no one counts.
How many has been used?
That is for you to find out later and for no one to ever know. No,
Gray areas.
this was at the end of the round, so I feel like from today we can start deducting. Because
What was that
this
right?
was in the
On the last day,
hour.
you put 69. Well,
Yeah,
we're
on
going
the
to check the
last
on-chain
hour.
records. We're going to confirm this.
We'll have to run a
trust you.
transcript through AI and
All
get all the
right.
grow number.
Transaction hash, please.
Transaction hash, please.
TXID.
It disappeared. It
Yep.
disappered in the last 2 word
Oh.
in TG chat.
Oh, well, isn't that
Oh,
convenient?
shit.
It disappeared,
Oh,
did it?
shit.
Where's the TX hash? Where's your ID? Oh,
All right,
huh?
wait.
Where's it
I'll
at?
put it up.
Where's it at?
Wait.
Blockchain.
We exist
Alright.
on the chain for a reason. You'll see it, bro. I don't hide my glows. I spread them around.
We believe. All right.
But yeah, CC continues to
So-
say requested. So I think maybe just off.
Still requesting.
off and
Well,
on.
why don't you grow host another person? Maybe they can, or just grow host.
I'm gonna stop co-hosting.
Grow hosting. Another one. Yeah, your 69 balance is dwindling, my friend. But that was mighty generous of you, though. That is very nice. By the way, back to the topic I said to research beforehand. By the way, I think Coca-Cola is one of the worst companies in the world. Okay, worst. Both in terms of emissions and apparently other dodgy business. But so yeah, I heard this on some random Joe Rogan clip, and yeah, so Coca-Cola produces as much as $3 billion. Okay, by the way, this is according to the New Zealand Herald, but definitely feel free to do further research. But okay, Coca-Cola produces as much as $3 billion worth of pure cocaine every year and sells it to one of the world's largest opioid manufacturers in a secretive deal with the U.S. government that has recently been renewed. What? Okay, so apparently they still take the flavor from the coca leaves and put that in Coca-Cola, but then the byproduct is sold to an opioid manufacturer called Mallinckrodt, and it's like a numbing agent. So there you go. That's what I kind of confirmed. So there you go. By the way, both terrible things. Cocaine, bad. Coca-Cola, also very bad. Don't do either. But just so you know, that's kind of weird that they're doing both. Okay, TC.
Hi, GM. How is everybody growing today?
Growing well, CC. Great to have you.
GMCC, growing well.
GM, Sandra, GM. Yeah, you know
Your
what?
volume's a little bit low. Are you
Speaking,
speaking directly into the microphone?
yes, I am. I am side by side with the microphone.
Okay. Okay. It got a little bit better, so great. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, it's true. They use the coca leaves, and they tried to have coca leaves produced in the United States. Did you know that? So they wouldn't need to buy coca leaves from other countries like Bolivia, Colombia, Peru, and in fact, they are buying coca leaves from Bolivia. They tried to produce the same coca leaves in the United States. I think it was on California. I'm not sure about that, but they were not able to produce the same flavor and the same like yeah the same characteristics that they were used to use, and they are still buying coca leaves from Peru and Bolivia.
Wow. Wild. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, wow. And you know what else is wild? United States had us, Bolivia, tagged us as uh, coca and cocaine producers. So we are like banned from some things because of that. But Coca-Cola is buying our coca leaves. So it's really wild. It's really, really wild.
and
Damn.
and and it's not, the coca leaves themselves are not bad. They're actually, they've been used by the indigenous populations for, hundreds of years. In fact, when you go to Machu Picchu, when we go to Cusco in Peru, they actually will serve you cocoa tea, coca leaf tea, and you can also get the leaves, and we've had a tour guide that like showed us how you would chew on the leaves to help you with just adjusting to the altitude, so that you don't get altitude sickness. So it's actually something that's quite in use. You can even buy coca candy in Peru. I don't know about in Bolivia if it's the same, but it's not that the coca leaves are bad. The coca leaves are good, and they're useful for the populations that are there. Yeah, I think that just the transformation of it into cocaine is definitely bad.
Yeah, yeah, completely true. You know what? We all the Andean countries set like a fighting, not a fighting cup, like a union. I don't know how to call it, but to fight against this regulation, because the United States tagged us as producers, and tagged the production of coca leaves as as a harmful thing, which is not. And all these Andean countries use coca leaf for many things, not only fighting against high altitude, but also as medicinal powers to many other illness, because of our natural medicines that we use here with our local and indigenous cultures. So after many years, they retrieve and they retire the use of coca leaf, and just use they just maintain the transformation to cocaine as illegal. So now we produce many other things like toothpaste with coca, also like a flour, a coca flour, so you can make like so so that coca has many, many other uses than just cocaine.
Good to know. Good to know. So happy days, friends. Let's refresh the space. Everyone go to that purple icon, bottom right. Drop something in there. Hashtag let's grow, followed by whatever it is that you want to grow. All right. And give it a retweet, give it a love. You know, we're trying to grow a movement here, so help us out. All right. Maya is with us as well from Refi Podcast. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to come up onto the stage if you would like. We've also got Eve, who did an incredible facilitation of meditation. You're more than welcome to come up and do one of those anytime you'd like. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Maya's joined us. Welcome. How you doing, Maya? What's going on?
Hello, hello. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, everyone. See a lot of familiar faces. It's a morning for me, so I am just getting going on my day. Just joined, so yeah, fill me in on what I missed, and yeah, excited to join the party.
You. Oh man, you missed we went deep with John earlier. It was recorded, and we're probably gonna do some post production later. But yeah, he went deep with some of his plant medicine experiences and his new path forward, and it was quite the time. But welcome. And by the way, here's a quick word of warning to you and anyone who is not super familiar with the vocabulary. All right, so Growcabulary is a list of words that mostly contain the word grow with things that rhyme with it. So, for example, we don't say G-O here or G-Y-N-G, any variation of that. It's growing and grow. Sorry. Oh no, did I do it? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm explaining. So, then we don't say G-O-N-A-T-I-O-N, we say grow nation. Okay, these are the two most basic ones. If you're a newbie and we explain it, then we only expect these of you. But if you've been here for like many GG rounds and you're a host and you know what's up, then you kind of have to know all the vocabulary. And we have a lot of words. So animals like growrilla and flamingo, and then growlaboration and growordination are some other classics. The grow hosts are growtating. Okay, we have a big old list. If you want to check the thread, if you're an OG and you want to make sure you're not. So anyway, anyone who doesn't say the right words, here's this sound. It just gets a little fine from the Grow Police, and 100% of such fines will be allocated towards Gitcoin grantees. All you have to do is come up here. You get 69 seconds. It's called Shillevator. We're doing the first one live on the Gitcoin space on Friday, and at the Shillevator, you get 69 seconds, like I said, to pitch. And as long as you get 3 thumbs up, or depending on the size of the space, up to 5 thumbs up, then you get a Grow Nation. And that Grow Nation is actually determined by members in the Party app. So Party app, it costs less than $5. It's like 4 point something dollars. It's planted up in the garden, far left. I encourage everyone, please join the party right now. We have a nice link for it. It's basically link.letsgrow.network/party. And in the Party app, we're going to be determining and voting on how much should grow to the shillers, depending on which round they're in. So we might give $1 of USD Glow to a grantee in, OSS, or $2 in BioFi, however we vote as members within the Party app. And 100% of what you pay to join the 4.5 whatever dollars also goes to the grantees. So happy days. And it is 1 USD Glow per infraction, but you can also just pay 10 USD Glow, get a nice NFT, and then you are shielded from any grow fines for the rest of GG22. All right. Cool. Back to you. And welcome, Eve, as well. Great to have you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Right on. So, as a grow host of the Refi podcast and all about regeneration, exploration, I'd love to learn from you, Maya. What's been growing on in the world of Refi and everything that you've been up to? Give us the rundown.
Thanks, Jimmy. A lot of things have been growing in my world. So, first of all, if you haven't listened to the Refi podcast season 4 yet, please go and check it out. Teresa, my co-host, and myself took over from John this summer. And so you have heard from John and what he's up to in his new venture, while we are, um, you know, kind of changing slightly the direction of the podcast, adding our, own vision to expanding the notion of regeneration. And just a quick rundown, we decided to call season 4 Regeneration Nexus, and it's a nexus of 3 areas. We split the season into 3 miniseries. The first miniseries called The Vision, that the first 4 episodes expanded on why we need a different approach, why regeneration, and also what regeneration even means, right? Because we can't continue with the current systems, and some sustainability notions are quite outdated. And so we sat down with people like John Fullerton, the OG of regenerative economics, as well as Samantha Power, who's leading the work on bioregionalism. And if you haven't heard of BioFi and the role of BioFi in refi, definitely recommend checking out the episode with Samantha. And the second mini series it focuses on the impact. So, what's actually going on the ground? We talk with people building the projects all over the world. The first one with Pete Cork, and who is working on restoring the forests of British Columbia. So if anyone is from Canada over here, shout out to you. Encourage you to check out that episode. And this week we launched an episode with Ebru Kaya, and she does incredible work on regenerative investing, right? And in Refi, we talk a lot about Web3 tools, but if we look at the notion of what constitutes regenerative finance more holistically, right? And investing is a big part of it. So, how can we actually approach it from a regenerative standpoint? So, if you're interested in these kinds of topics, that's the episode for this week. And then I have 2 more in the mini series on the impact. And lastly, we are going to have the last third mini series on the tools, right? And the tools is all about technology and what we need to achieve this regenerative vision. So we're going to go deeply into emerging tech, including Web3, touch on AI and all other exciting new things that are happening, and how basically we bridge all this innovation, all this vision from the tech community with the visionaries of regeneration, and work together to make our planet thrive, so that everyone can actually see in practice that regeneration is possible. So that being said, this is season 4 of the Refi podcast. You can listen on Spotify, Apple. You can watch us on YouTube. We also always post shorts on X, and we also, by the way, have Instagram now. If any one of you here is into that, yeah. So I would love to actually hear your feedback on any of the episodes. Last thing, we also host community discussions on Friday mornings. So we actually have one coming up this Friday, when we just invite the community to share their thoughts, questions, insights they have from each episode, because we'd love to hear from you. So I encourage you to join us for that. And as part of that, last little shilling thing, and I'm how do I connect the word grow with shilling? Grow shilling. I'm I'm sorry, it's morning. I'm not as creative today.
Yeah, it doesn't work for every word, but but yeah,
Yeah.
we do a shillevator, and
Shilaveda, that's
then yeah,
right.
gronate.
That's right. I'm learning. I'm learning. Apologies.
That's okay. Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
yeah, training wheels.
um, as part of my work at the Refi podcast, and as a contributor to Refi DAO, I was nominated for GG22 Regen Citizens. Please support if you are into Regen media. I'm all about creating uh, more knowledge about these ideas, building bridges of understanding, yeah, and just spreading the word. So if you believe in storytelling and that we need to spread the word of refi further, would appreciate your support. Thanks again, and let's grow.
Let's grow. And by the way, Maya is a regen citizen. So check out her awesome work in the Regen Citizen Round, grants.gitcoin.co. Navigate to Regen Citizen Round, check it out. Tell your friends they can also pay with PayPal via Prize. So there you go. Back to you, CC. CC and me and Mr. McGee. Okay, here we go. She back. All right.
Yeah. My screen just blocked. So yeah, amazing. Um, I love what Maya has been doing lately with the Refi podcast. It's a really great content that you're making. Kudos, Maya.
Thank you, Cece. They're very, very great to hear that. Yeah, and I'm just like curious what other people you'd love to hear on the podcast, what your favorite topics are, maybe what are some of the questions you like to be explored more. Again, either let me know in these spaces, drop me a DM. I'm just curious how it's landing with the community as well.
Yeah, that would be
And
awesome. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
guess
Go
also have
ahead.
to say that one of our goals was also to bring new voices to the podcast. Obviously, there are already so many amazing people doing so much cool stuff in the regen space broadly. And that is not to say if they were not on the new season doesn't mean we don't love their work. We just really wanted to give the stage to someone who's never been on the podcast before, right? Because the podcast has been going on for 3 seasons. Then we also have other wonderful podcasts, Crypto Altruism, Green Pill. So that was kind of another part of our vision is to make sure we, to to grow this vision and expand on what's already been done. So yeah, just wanted to give that clarification as well.
Yeah. Hey, Maya, it's
Yeah.
Sandra. Sandra here behind the Let's Grow account. I hope you're coming to Tulum for Tulum Crypto Fest. But I do love as well the way that you've divided the podcast into those different sections. And it makes sense to approach it from the technology perspective, from the educational perspective. And what was the other one?
Because oftentimes generation, you know what, like can you tell me more? So that's why we kind of wanted to make sure we'll lay that foundation, that groundwork for what's actually then happening on the ground. Because again, I feel like we hear, and also hi Sandra, sorry I forgot to say, like it's so great to hear your voice. I love it. And I wish I could come to CryptoFest Tulum. I miss Tulum so much. My sort of travel plans are kind of TBD at the moment. But yeah, I would love to catch up with you on that separately too and hear how that prep is going. I guess the last thing I'll say is, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, basically, that's the last thing I wanted to say. What I realize is, for all of us here, I'm sure, who are in the kind of broader regen space, we talk with a lot of people who are already who support this vision, right? Who are united by this regenerative mindset. But then what I also realize when I step outside of, this community and talk to other people in my life, even, I don't know, like my parents, or some of my friends who are not in the region. And then I tell them like, hey, this is like the podcast, this or that. I realize that they're actually um, not familiar with this concept. So I feel like this can also be kind of more of like an echo chamber in like a positive sense of the world. But like if what I realize, if we all regions just talk to regions only, we don't bring enough new people. That's why we kind of decided that it's important to also start with the basics. And when new people come in and want to learn like all the jargon, right, all these beautiful words, we got to explain them, and that's why we kicked off the podcast with that.
Amazing. Yeah, I still to a crypto bro, just well, and somebody that is also familiar with what we've been doing at Refi Tulum. uh, asked me if refi was refinancing. Like, wait,
Oh my
what?
gosh.
But I think that's very common, right? So yes, we're still educational in a growing phase, and we do have to build those bridges. So yes, and this is your podcast is doing great work. I did listen to John Foy's episode and looking forward to listening to the Samantha one as well.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm curious to hear how things go with Fight Bloom. I love you guys so much. And if any of you here on the call are ever in Tulum, you have to check out their cute NFT boutique and just like the vibe there and everything that Sandra is doing. I feel like Tulum is such a beautiful place for work and all the cleanups and community activations that you are leading there, Sandra, are like truly such an example for all of us in other places.
No, thank you so much. It's really kind of you to say. I appreciate it. Thank you for the flowers. Yes, and we're it's right now for Tulum. It's the beginnings of the high tourist season. So I think a lot of us for the summer, and what happens is in Tulum, because it is so cyclical and seasonal, is that a lot of people will grow other places, like Europe, or there's a whole circuit that people do because it gets extremely hot. And so yes, it's been a good time to build, to kind of just take stake of what we've got and what we want to prioritize, and prepare for the coming season, which is kind of going to be upon us in no time, and with a culmination of the Tulum Crypto Fest. So we're super excited and have been working with the community here, also wanting to bring more educational initiatives to the community. What started with our artist in residency program, and that's we just had a launch of our NFT collection, our Fierce Feminine of Refi collective, and those are all female artists that have been growing through a process of onboarding, from traditional and digital art onto Web3. So would definitely love to work on formalizing that program, bringing more educational content to the community, and continuing to do the activations and rewarding people for their positive planet impact.
That's beautiful. I love all the work that you're doing, and I'm curious, like, what are you planning, like refi related for like the Crypto Fest specifically?
Well, that's still in the works. I think we will have a special side event, and definitely a lot of the content we've been able to influence, have some panels, bring some regions and refi people to Tulum Crypto Fest. So a lot of it's still behind the scenes, but I'm very much happy to see that there is a whole track. There's a whole refi track this year for Tulum Crypto Fest. So I do feel like we did have a little influence there.
Yay, way to grow. Way to grow.
By next year, but we'll have a takeover. We're going to have a refi takeover.
I love that. Oh, that's so cool.
And we have plenty of time now, Maya, for us to start planning, you being here, maybe bringing the podcast here, setting up a lot of things ahead of time. But, planting those seeds now with you and with everyone here, and everyone that wants to come to Slim Crypto Fest or is interested, please reach out to me. I can help and provide a lot of information, answer questions, get you set up when you're here, all of the above.
I love the planting of seeds early so that they can develop and grow into some of the cool ideas that we can implement. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. Um, once the ground season is over, we can switch our attention to that. And I remember, Center, we were talking about a year ago or something. How cool would it be to have some sort of a regen retreat thing happening, or I'm surprised because well, now that I just ran thinking out loud, there are all these pop-up cities that are happening, especially now around Bangkok or DevCon in Bangkok. But how come there is none like specifically for regions? Like, what if there was, like, how cool would it be if there was a pop-up village, like regen edition specifically, and maybe that could even be in Tulum.
I think Tulum would be the perfect place for it. The perfect place for it. We need to make that happen.
Yay. Okay.
Do you
Well,
have
that's
experience with the pop-up cities and planning them? How does that grow?
I have very limited experience with them. I'm actually curious if anyone else on these spaces can share more. My kind of first introduction to it was last year at East Denver. I believe, I don't know if that was the first Edge City that happened there or second. But I think one of the first Edge cities happened at East Denver last February in Denver, and I was not like staying there or like living there. I did check out a couple of their events, and it was just like a cool space because it wasn't just a space for conference or talks, right? It was just a community space where people can like come hang out, like work on projects together, like co-work slash have workshops slash just chill, and then like at night they hosted like a couple dance parties. So that kind of vibe, that was very cool. And I know there were more happening later in California. I didn't go, but a friends of mine went to Edge Esmeralda in Northern California, and obviously right now in DevCon, and I believe some people on these spaces are going to DEF CON, or Leo, I think, just hopped off. I'm curious if anyone from all of you here is going to be in Thailand. I know my co-host Teresa is actually there right now. Um, so it's kind of this cool, um, hybrid event space that's emerging, right? Like all kind of taking inspiration from Zuzalu, that happened, I think, was it like 2 years ago now? I'm losing track of time. But yeah, I think it's still a very new concept, but I believe for most Web3 people and just digital nomads, it's something that's very important. And back to our episode we had with Samantha, how, in the world of digital nomadism, we as people still crave community and connection to a place, right? It's just the nature of us being human. So how can we cultivate and create spaces even when people are going around the world, but where they can meaningfully connect with the place, and not just travel with kind of consumerist mindset in mind, or and then taking and extracting, right? And but how can we make tourism regenerative, right? And these are some of the things that I've been thinking, and I don't have all the answers, but just if we are talking about growing this regenerative mindset, how, like, how else can we apply it in other areas? So maybe, yeah, regen tourism is the next thing the refi community can build in. So if anyone has any ideas on that, I'm curious to hear.
Well, yeah, it's definitely something that we're launching here in Tulum, and launching with experiences, launching with refi rides. So yeah, it's the tourism is the biggest, at least for maybe there's another one, but it's one of the biggest industries in this area of Mexico. So it's very important to create that and shift that mindset of a tourist that's coming here to, from coming and just getting drunk and partying and going to the, festivals, to also being conscious of the impact that they're making when they come, because the Tulum swells like to 3 times its size whenever the big festivals come to town. So yeah, it's very important. It's something that we actually did a wonderful cleanup with the organization. Well, Day Zero has always been, very supportive, and we've been working with them now for 3 years. Will be the 4th year that we've been working with them to activate the community and to take planet positive action and be rewarded for that. And then we also had a really lovely event with Bye Bye Plastic. This is Blondish's nonprofit organization, and yeah, with that one, over 100 people showed. It was incredible, and then rewarded with a beautiful evening event that Blondish was supposed to come. She didn't make it, but it was still, great DJs, great vibe, and a wonderful celebration of working together for the planet. So I think that those kinds of experiences are definitely ones that we want to explore more, make available to people, and yeah, and also connect with, all of the different tour guides and organizers here. There's so many of them, and help them make their experiences more regenerative, whether that's just, including a discount for, picking up a bag of trash at the beach, or some other kind of gift or reward, of course, the tokens. So yeah, that very much top of mind for us, and what we're working to develop here in Tulum.
Wow. Tulum is so lucky to have such driven people like you, Sandra, and your community, seriously. Yeah, and I'm also seeing that crypto altruism joined. I'm love seeing more regen media. And I guess as part of my interest in sort of like media stuff, I'm curious, how do people like to consume content these days? I'm curious, what is your favorite way to listen to podcasts? Like, do people prefer now audio, or is video still good? Does anyone even like read like refi out blogs? I'm just like so curious, like where's the content shifting these days? What are your favorite forms?
I've always been an audio fan because I love that you can do anything while you're listening. So I'm a big fan. I also love video. I think that gives it another dimension and element. But for me, audio is great, and it is part of my morning routine to listen to either something educational or positive in the morning while I'm getting ready, taking care of the kitties. And yeah, so definitely a big fan. In terms of reading, same, yeah, blogs, I read blogs. I write. That's actually, when I'm writing something, that's a great way for me to also consume content, to do research, and yeah, incorporate that content into my writing. Who
Oh yeah, I
else?
wanted to give you a shout out for the blog that you've published, Sandra, recently. So cool. Yeah, definitely. If you haven't checked it out, go to Sandra's Twitter or X, or grow to Sandra's X. It's pinned on your profile, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pinned.
Uh,
Yeah, the future of crypto is refi. I actually think the future is refi, but that's for a different article. Okay, we've got 2077 Collective. This is also Cece's organization, or she's a part of it, one of the leaders of it, joining us. It may actually be Cece behind. Hey, James. I know why. I know why your hand is raised. Yeah,
This is the top of the hour. We gotta pump
go
bags
ahead.
and plant trees. That's what we gotta do around here. Much love, everybody. Keep up the good work.
Good work, Treegen. Is that UCC behind 2077?
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, hi. Now I'm wearing the hat for 2077 Collective, and we are really thankful for being here and having a time slot for hosting this this amazing 24/7 space at Let's Grow Live. So yeah, let's keep moving, let's keep growing, and let's keep vibing.
Welcome, welcome, and yeah, we should also yeah, for everybody to please retweet the space and share it out. Tag some people. Let's get some more people here learning about refi, learning about 2077 Collective, learning about all of these amazing regen citizens, and yes, like let's get more people in here. And if anyone would like to come up, please raise your hand. Cece, I don't want to interject, but I just was giving the hygiene there. And so, but please, if you have something planned for the space, grow right ahead.
Thank you, thank you. No, that was great. So yeah, please let's start resharing the space, and let's bring more people in here and learn about some other rounds also that are participating at GG22. So this could be a really good place for you that have a project participating at the OSS rounds. Please come and share it. This is an open space for people to share their projects, connect with other people, connect with other projects too. Let's grow together and vibe together. Yeah. Oh, well, today, as we are starting our hosting slot, we wanted to present who we are and what we are doing, and also share a little of our project as we are participating at the OSS round, at the Dev Tooling and Libraries round. And we are participating with the 2077 Bounty Project. So yeah, we are excited to be in these rounds and also get to know more people that are also developing some interesting and cool stuff too. So basically,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I wanted to ask you about 2077 because I just heard about it recently, and I think that it would be great to hear what it's all about, how people can participate, how it benefits the ecosystem. So please share with us.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, well, 2077 Collective is a community effort to bring Ethereum much bigger and much more coordinated too. So, we call ourselves the unofficial marketing department for Ethereum. So, we are basically working towards that. The community has many different topics and um, ways for people to contribute and bring more awareness of what's being built on Ethereum, and also how you can engage with this wonderful network and start being on Web3, using tools, providing content maybe, or just hanging out with amazing products that are being built around Ethereum. Hey, I see Claire at the audience. Come on up, Claire, please. Let's talk about 2077 and what's growing on in our community and efforts that we are building. Yeah, Claire is a fantastic individual at the collective. She produces very much the content that we are posting on our socials. She produces the up-to-date videos that you can check on our profile. We every day we post a video around a project. you can check it out and start experimenting. Welcome, Claire. Thank you for joining.
Hello, hello, everybody. So great to be here. I'm with the collective, like Cece said, and I'm just excited to be here in this space with you all. I can't wait to hear what everyone else is building. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we were explaining about what's the collective doing, and maybe could you please share a little bit more of how you are contributing and also how more people can start contributing at the collective?
Okay, yeah. So at the collective, I don't know if Cece has already explained this. I got cut off for a minute, but at the 27/7 collective, we are working to make Ethereum cool again by being the unofficial marketing department of Ethereum, right? And we're doing this by trying to promote Ethereum apps that you might not know about. We're trying to bring up the young builders who are who don't have many eyes on them. So that's what we're trying to do. You would also see us probably sometime in the future hosting contests and calls with the collective members to like just get to learn more about them and get to learn more about Ethereum, right? So what I'm doing with the app a day. We're just trying to like get more apps out there because there's so many Ethereum apps. There was this conversation at the ETHCC that happened this year, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, where are the apps? Where are the Ethereum apps?" Right? We're like, "There are apps, right?" So we try to post one app every day, and you can check that on our profile. So if you go down our profile, our media, you get to see all the apps we've covered, and you can also like there's a tutorial on how they work, and you can also like check them out and follow these projects. So that's what I do. I do that recording, and in future times, we're currently working on something. I don't know if I can share this, but I mean, it's gonna come out eventually. So yeah, we're currently working on the interviews. We started it at first, but we're developing it to be a lot better. So it's gonna be future video interviews this time. So you get to see your favorite Ethereum builders on talk about like their journey into Ethereum and what they're currently building. So yeah, you're gonna see that real soon. We're currently working on it, and you'll get to see more of that in coming weeks. And yeah, that's what I do. And yeah, so how you can join the collective? It's very simple. You just hop in our Discord. It's also on our profile. You get to see that there. You hop in and join the discussion and help us and join the discussion on how you think the Ethereum marketing probably sucks and help us help the community make this marketing a lot better and a lot greater. There's so many tasks available. So on our Discord, you see squads. So these squads are like tasks that everybody gets to work on together. So you just join any squads or any discussions, and you can contribute however you want. I think that's like, yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. Yeah, so also this doesn't need to be like we need. Do we need writers? Yes. Do we need designers? Definitely. Do we need videographers? Definitely. So any kind of profile or skills that you have are